The night they fired me, I didn't argue. I packed my desk into a cardboard box while whispers circled like vultures. What no one knew, what I didn't tell a soul, was that the company that just let me go still cut me a check every month. A silent contract. A stake in their future. I owned more of them than they owned of me. But I kept quiet. Sometimes silence is sharper than rage. I drove home with my box of useless papers, expecting at least some comfort. Instead, I walked into chaos. My father stood in the living room, face red, fists clenched. "Pack your bags," he barked. "Failures don't belong under my roof." He didn't even ask what happened, just judgment, as always. Then my husband stepped out of the kitchen. Not alone. A woman followed, fixing her lipstick with the casualness of someone who'd already claimed my place. He looked at me, smirked, and spit on the floor between us. "You're done. With me. With this life." I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I just carried my box upstairs, one step at a time, while they laughed behind me. That night, as I zipped up my suitcase, I thought about all the times I'd believed in them. My father, the man who raised me on discipline, who said love was conditional on achievement. My husband, the boy who once swore the world would collapse without me by his side. But loyalty is only real when tested, and mine had been tested. Theirs had failed. I walked out without a word. They thought they'd broken me. But I had secrets. The beach house was the first, tucked away on the coast, in my name alone. No one knew it existed. My sanctuary. The second secret was the company. I'd played the fool well, letting them believe I was just another employee, disposable, fragile. But years earlier, I'd quietly invested. Shares, partnerships, silent agreements. Enough to make me untouchable. They thought I was poor. In reality, I was richer than all of them combined. That night, I didn't fall apart. I began to plan. Revenge isn't anger. Revenge is patience. I let my husband flaunt his new woman. I let my father boast about throwing me out. I let the city believe the rumor that I'd hit rock bottom. And while they laughed, I built. I rented out the beach house to high-profile clients, money flowing like a tide. I bought another property under a shell name, then another. Quietly, silently, my empire spread. Meanwhile, I watched my father's business crumble. He'd leveraged too much, bet too high. I could have saved him, but I didn't. Instead, I bought his debt, piece by piece, until the bank answered to me, not him. My husband? He burned through money faster than he made it. Lavish dinners, vacations he couldn't afford. I fed the fire, pushing credit his way through hidden hands. The deeper he fell, the sweeter it became. The confrontation came 2 years later. My father showed up at my office unannounced. Not the home office he remembered, no. A glass tower downtown, my name etched into the marble of the lobby. He looked smaller than I remembered, tired, hollow. "I need help," he said, voice cracking. "The bank owns everything." I leaned back in my chair, calm, collected. "No," I corrected, "I own everything." He froze. Confusion first, then realization. His empire was mine now. The same daughter he'd thrown out had been signing his checks for months. I didn't yell. I didn't gloat. I just let silence sink its claws in. That silence hurt more than any insult. My husband came next. He found me at a charity gala. He looked older, bloated, desperate. His new woman was gone, replaced by a bitter loneliness. "Please," he whispered, grabbing my wrist. "I made a mistake." I smiled, slow and deliberate. "You made several." He didn't know that the repossession of his car, the foreclosure of his condo, the credit calls, every ounce of his misery had been orchestrated by me. Step by step, I dismantled the life he thought he'd built on my ashes. I leaned close enough for only him to hear. Do you remember spitting on me? The night you replaced me in my own home? He swallowed, eyes darting, shame flooding in. I left him standing there, humiliated, while the crowd whispered. The sweetest part of revenge isn't the destruction, it's the revelation. Watching them finally see who I am, what I've become, what they threw away. My father lives in a rented apartment now. He sees my name on every building he passes. My ex-husband lives in shadows, drowning in debts he'll never repay. Every time the phone rings, he wonders if it's another piece of me tightening the rope. And me? I sit on the balcony of my beach house, wine in hand, my son's laughter echoing from the waves. Because yes, I left with nothing that night, but I also took the only thing that mattered, my child, my future. Do I regret it? Not for a second. The night I lost my job, my home, my marriage, they thought it was my end. But endings are just beginnings in disguise.